we fight, we might lose. But if we don't fight, we've already lost.
Hello and welcome to another Tuesday night Parramatta League's Talking Parra live show. Look, I'd love to be coming to you after another win, but unfortunately I'm coming to you after another loss. Before we get into that, let's thank our sponsors at Riverside Brewing Co. Time for a Chat, ZMS Trophies, Tony Mustafa, Mortgage Choice, Tate Sports Card, Nonstop Landscapes, X-Visory, BMA Trucking, Bay Vista, Spot on Hose and Fittings, Eurowork and JD by Agents. I can see some very excited fans about the prospect of Momax finally appearing. That's great. Let's get that trending. Momax needs to be trending. We've got a job for you to do later, but we'll get to that pretty soon. I'll welcome everyone else in. Look, it's the game that matters most to me this week, Parramatta versus Newcastle. As we all know, I absolutely fucking hate the Knights, and we're actually going to invite Jez. He's sitting in the background at the moment. We're going to invite Jez in a little bit later to preview that game, and we're going to give him an absolute gobful and make his life absolutely hell. But it's great to see you all here again. You just keep turning up every week, which is fantastic. Longy, mate, how are you feeling after that loss on the weekend? And isn't it hard after watching? There's some fabulous games of footy, but after going down Thursday night, getting to another 7 games of rugby league.
Mate, it's brutal. It's brutal. And we had that one. We had it won. Like, Josh Addo-Carr was unbelievable on that edge. He's creating a ton, and we just couldn't ice it. So, yeah, that was a heartbreaker. But I will say I like that Riles is sort of stuck with a lot of the same team there. You know, I like that Riley Smith was throwing a lot of the opposition last week. A lot of it didn't come off, but I like that he's sort of trying to play a bit of a bigger role. So I like what I'm seeing, and I'm a believer in the future.
Thank you, Paul. Don't say hi to Jez. We're just going to ignore his existence at the moment. All right. I know you're trying to be a nice guy. We'll leave him. Hayden, Thursday night, you're there. Parramatta versus the Dolphins. Thoughts on the game? Well, not your thoughts on the game, just how you doing after the loss. We'll get to the game later.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough one. It sort of reminded me of the game against the Sharks about 3 years ago. It was the first sort of loss since then where it felt like we really should have won that game and went right down to the end, obviously. So, yeah, that was a very tough pill to swallow. We came close against the Dogs earlier in the year, but I think this one was an absolute heartbreaker at home as well.
Yeah, agree. Jack, how you travelling?
Yeah, it was a bad time to be in the Globally household Thursday night. I was so excited. Prospect of Dilbag scoring 2 tries to win the game. We were about 2 extra steps from Addo-Carr away from winning the game, and then it turned into Jack throwing a tantrum for the next 3 days. But we're getting there. Another Aussie winning the belt in the UFC made me feel better, but that's what it took to make my weekend bearable.
Yeah, fair. It happens. Troy?
Yeah, look, very disappointed. Disappointing. Went into the game thinking, played all right against the Sharks up a Magic round. Yeah, we got these back at home, and then a bit of a boring first half. But opportunities in the second half, which we'll get to later. But yeah, really disappointed. Luckily, it was on a Thursday, so then there was some great games of footy to watch across the weekend. Fortunately.
Yeah. I agree. I hate watching football on the weekend. Jason, mate, did the refs piss you off this week or what? Like, just let me know if they do a play the button, but if there's any referee decisions that got you, just let me know. Were there any referee decisions that got you?
I had a few, but Casey Badger was nice enough to spend about 2-3 minutes with me outside the stadium explaining the new obstruction rule interpretations.
Yeah, he meant explaining the rules, guys. Yep. Okay.
So I've got a better understanding now of why the refs can't make any decisions because they've changed the rules. But besides that, look, there were a few howlers, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's nothing worse for me, in a footy point of view, to lose on a Thursday and have the rest of the time just waiting for the next game. So many little moments, but not all is lost. It's okay. A dropped ball here, two goals there. We win the game. It's just one of those things when you're coming last. And I didn't think we played that badly. We just can't ice moments because we've got so many youngsters, and that's just the nature of it at the moment. So it's what it is. On to smashing Newey on Friday.
Sorry, did anyone else see that guy's name that Jess just put up? That's not a real name, surely. It can't be a real name. If it is a real name.
Just read it. Read it slowly.
I don't need to. Everyone can read, Troy, unlike you, and you had 3 beers. Like, it's fine. We all know what it is. But, look, we don't get to use it this week, Jason. I'm pretty disappointed we don't get to use Jason versus the refs. So I thought you were going to go on about the Herbie. Like, first of all, I just want to send our thoughts and prayers and love to Herbie Farnworth. I hope he's doing okay. I know he must have really struggled after that. So thoughts to him. But you've absolutely nailed it, Jason. It's a confidence thing, isn't it? If we beat Cronulla, and we all know we should have beat Cronulla, but a few things can go away. And if we did win that, I reckon we would have beat the Dolphins because confidence would have been our side. We wouldn't have been pushing those passes. Like, look, Dylan Brown didn't need to pass either of those balls. Dylan Brown didn't need to pass the ball to Ongi. He did need to pass the ball back to Josh Adokar. So, once again, confidence thing. I can't get what these comments say. They're throwing me off big time. I need to stop talking. Jez, just throw the fucking score result up. Let's go to the actual score. And we'll talk about some of the key moments in the game. So, obviously, we went down 20-16 after leading 12-6. At 12-6, looked like we were going to go on with it, but we just couldn't get it done. Jack, your thoughts on, I guess, what transpired and a little bit of the dominant period of the Dolphins for a little bit of fight back from Parramatta?
Yeah, look, we should have won that game, plain and simple. Don't think Dolphins played that well. There was a couple of moments that Herbie run really hurt. Like, we fought back from that. I thought we were going to fight back and win. It's frustrating considering that every time we threw the ball left in the last 20 minutes, we're making line breaks, and it's just those little moments that really cost us there. I only dropping the ball over the line was a killer. But look, there are positives, but it's taken me since Thursday to find the positives. I've been a very sour man about that game.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Troy?
Yeah, well, as I said before, the first half was a bit of a stinker. A bit boring, to be honest. But yeah, that drop ball across the line. I thought the decision about Mitchell Moses being taken out was pretty questionable. And yeah, the Herbie Farnworth incident, that was ridiculous. But what can you do about that one, as I said to Casey Badger after the game? But yeah, look, I think towards the end there, you're right. Yeah, I'm struggling. Towards the end there. Hey?
If you know how to drink, you're not functioning well. Let's just cut him off, Jez. Just put him down the bottom.
Yeah, no, just go to the next one. I just so disappointed.
Family before replays. How good.
Yeah. Longy, your thoughts on obviously some of those key moments?
I'll throw some stats at you guys because we did win some of the key things, and it was just a bit of class that held us out. So both teams had 3 tries. We lost on goal kicking there. We had more possession, 52%. We had more time in possession. We had more line breaks. 7-5. We had more tackle breaks, 37-33. So we were creating opportunities like, more offloads. And we had 3 forced dropouts to 0. Like we did a lot of things right. We just didn't quite have that little bit of class to get it over. And I'm not going to, heap onto him, but that little bit of class should have come from our 5'8" Dylan Brown at the end there. And if he did had sort of step up there, we would have won the game. So I think we did in that game.
That's the pressure of the big contract because he made 2 poor choices. Like I said, one he passed, he shouldn't have passed, and then the one at the end, he went for that glory moment. He wanted to win that game. Obviously, Parra fans have been giving him a bit of stick. I think he wanted to, I guess, prove the media a bit wrong and show he's a big game player. Do you think that's what it was?
It felt a bit like that, or maybe you overestimated his pace there. I don't know. I don't blame Josh Adokar for it though. Like he was gassed. He was breaking the line at will at the end there. So I think Dylan needed to position his support runners there, and like physically too. You watch that play. I watched it over and over again a few times. He didn't switch. So he was on the left side, right? On that left sideline. He kept the ball in his right hand. And if you go watch Stephen Crichton, I'm not going to root for the Dogs here, but Stephen Crichton switching the ball between his hands on their comeback. Dylan Brown needed to switch and sort of use his body and find an offload for Adokar. And he just didn't seem to grasp that sort of ball handling switch that he needed to do there. So, yeah, it's just, look, he's not at our club anymore going forward next year. So it's not really our problem to develop it. But there were just a few moments there where he probably should have nailed them. Yeah.
He'll probably develop it next year. It's funny you mentioned the stats because one thing that actually stood out to me when I was reading through the stats as well, I love you've done that research because, I never will. But we actually had 14 more total runs than the Dolphins, but we managed to run for about 60 less meters. And the post-contact meters are huge. It means our forwards got dominated. It's as simple as that. Our forwards got dominated through the middle. Impressive stats by obviously our backs. Again, our backs are really doing that job. And I guess we spoke after, I think it was about round 2, round 3, of people questioning why our run meters are down by our forwards and our backs are up. It's obviously a deliberate play by Jason Riles the way he wants to play. And the backs are nailing that. We'll talk about Bailey later, but having Lomax come back in for 200 meters, you would assume or close to is going to be huge as well. But Hayden, your thoughts?
On the game?
Yeah, the game. No, just your thoughts in general.
How's life, mate? What's been going on?
How much is that antique behind your cost?
Don't worry about talking Parra podcast. It's just to shoot the shit.
No.
How much are those goals worth?
$200 each, surely.
I don't know. Their nan's asked her. No, she's in bed. But yeah, no, as I said, really frustrating game. Obviously shot ourselves in the foot there at the end. As I said, I'm like Troy. I'm almost silent because it just hurt. Being there, maybe watched it on TV. Maybe it would have hurt a little less. But yeah, I got home at 1 a.m. after having a bit of a catch up with the boys after the game. But look, as for the game itself, as Jason highlighted, I think we didn't play that bad. I think the Dolphins' points, especially in that first half, we only kept them to 6 points. A lot of teams have sort of destroyed us in the first half as well. So we're definitely improving. As you said, Jason, there are a lot of young guys, and with experience, they will get better. And we're seeing improvement from those players, especially Riley Smith. He was outstanding in that game, very, very solid in defence. So, yeah, really, really tough loss to take. But overall, we're building, and I'm looking forward to getting back at home against the Sea Eagles. But we've got an away game this week against who is it, Adam? Remind me.
Fucking night.
Yeah,
That's directed at Jez. No one can see him, but I can see him, and he can see me. So, yeah. Look, Hayden, that was perfect. But how much would that be? Get it down. Come on, get it down. Everyone wants to see you turn into a man. You reckon you can get it down?
Oh, no, I probably can't, actually.
Come on, have a crack. Have a crack. Come on, have a crack. It's Tuesday.
I'm not downing a beer. Come
on, Hayden. Come on, Hayden.
Oh, there he goes.
There he goes.
Oh, it looks cold. It's burning in the back of the
Give me
throat.
some music.
Nah, he's gone.
Solid effort.
All right.
The effort was there.
I enjoy it. The effort was there.
Let's go to Jason's thoughts. Now we got through Hayden's segment.
I do have a few things on this one. Troy mentioned the Moses obstruction. That was clear. The Dolphins player had nothing but ice for him and then stopped. And the commentary was like, nothing says that he can't slow down. No, he stopped and shoulder barged him. No, some of the commentary and some of the refereeing decisions were poor. Exactly right. I'm going to try not to swear too much. But also, one thing that frustrated me the most, Ziggy, do you know how far 10 meters is? Like literally, like he was pushing us to
Hang on, hang on,
12.
hang on, hang on, hang on.
Ziggy-
I thought
Ziggy
it
was on the
wasn't
touchline.
happening. It's happening. It's He said it wasn't happening, but it's
Oh,
happening.
God.
All right, take it away
I
now,
love it.
Jason.
Look,
Take it away.
Look,
You couldn't help yourself.
I just need to remind this guy, it's 10 meters, not 12 meters. Stop forcing our defense to run back an extra 2 meters every time. And the Dolphins, for some reason, he was giving them 9 meters instead of 10 meters. I don't know if he was just guesstimating wrong. I don't know if he sees blue and gold and thinks there needs to be more distance away. I don't know what's going on there. Another big thing was Kafusi, their forwards, they dominated us. They were making 50, 60 meters every set. I think I mentioned to Adam once or twice, and I was like, oh, finally, we kept them within their own half. Kafusi dominated us. He was on fire. That's one of the things I was worried about. But he was always offside. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I was calling it. I was looking at him and yelling at the ref saying, Kafusi is offside, track him. And when he gets down there, whoever was maybe Oyongi running the ball back, he'd only run 8 meters. The guy's offside. Like, you can't be offside on the kick and then not allow for the 10-meter run. Like, it was just so frustrating. I don't know what he needs to get, like some sort of measurement device, maybe a laser, to help him with the 10-meter thing. I thought you were a laser, or like sharks with the lasers on their heads. Like seriously. Look, at the end of the day, though, we bombed some key moments. I think we bombed 2 tries. Like, evidently bombed 2 tries. We missed two goals. That gets us quite a comfortable win. But the Dolphins played really well. The stats are that they completed at 95%. So for us to keep them to only 3 tries, it was only 3 tries apiece. That's for me was a great effort. A lot of improvement we can see from that. I mean, Oyongi catches the ball, we win. Dylan learns how to pass the ball, we win. There's so many different factors that would have assisted with maybe more experience or maybe less fatigue, whatever it was. But we were so close. And yes, it was heartbreaking. But yeah, look, as I said, I spoke to Casey Badger. I'm starting to understand the obstruction rule because I had a few concerns about the running lines. But can I just say, if I'm a coach, whoever's listening, all you need to do, Adidas logo, run like that with the playmaker being the top and the 2 people running like that, and you will score every single time. Apparently that's allowed now. Please, Riles, implement this strategy like Cronulla did against us. We will score every single time.
It's the old 3 in the bed. Like, they're just running a simple 3 in the bed at the same person, but they're essentially, if they can get the defender to make the contact, it works for them now. Anyway, that's all we've got time for, guys, by the way. We'll see you next,
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
I did forget to bring this up. So obviously, once again, we are giving away $50 Leagues Club voucher. Thanks to Parra Leagues. So all you got to do is share this. Once you've shared it, comment done or comment shared, and then Jez will star everyone and we'll draw that at the end. You've got to be here to claim it if not a jackpot. That's pretty much it. We can move on from that. Let's move on to our player of the week. And our player of the week this week, no real surprises, absolute standout performance, as Longy mentioned earlier, was Josh Adokar. 22 runs, 239 run meters, 3 line breaks and 9 tackle breaks. And I think he had 1 error in front of us and absolutely copped a shellacking from the crowd. But he took the game. We needed a match winner, and it didn't look like anyone was going to be able to win the game, and he tried his ass off to win that game for us, and he almost did. I won't go to everyone. Longy, your thoughts on Josh's performances? You performed. Oh, wow. Fuck, I'm on fire tonight, eh? Your thoughts on Josh's performance?
How I feel.
Yeah, but yeah. Your thoughts on Josh's performance, and also your thoughts on what he's offered so far, and I guess long term, would you be locking Josh Adokar up at the club?
Mate, he has been unbelievable. So obviously he's fast. Like, everyone knows that. Give him a bit of space. He can run in a straight line. He's quick as. What we've seen, though, is he's been getting the ball in front of his winger and just beating them with a bit of footwork, a bit of power, a bit of speed. We also saw that kick return where he ran straight back into the line and burst straight through a couple of forwards. So we're seeing an Adokar that's probably better than what we were seeing last year at the Dogs, which is crazy to see at his age that he's developing that much. I'd be locking him up 100%. Like, what else do we want out of a winger? He pumped out 200 meters plus. He was creating plays. He's a great finisher. He seems like a good guy around the club as well. Like, seems to be hyped up. What are we waiting for? Sign him up long term. Make him an eel. Let's keep him.
Agree. Hayden, I know you've always been a Josh Adokar fan. What do
Yeah,
you think
no,
about long term?
Yeah, absolutely agree with this. I think he needs to be spoken about extending his contract for sure. Lock him up. I think he's still quite far away from his retirement. He's been with a lot of clubs, provides a lot of experience. And I honestly thought we'd seen him at his best, but what he's gotten out of Parramatta in a struggling side, he's playing really, really well. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he can still take it to another level and we haven't seen him reach his prime. I really thought we had, but I think there's another level in him and he's really, really good. As for the other performance, I mentioned him earlier, I was so close to giving my man of the match to Riley Smith. Obviously, there were some missed tackles in his stats there, but he was amazing in defence. He's getting absolutely better. And I think it was something like 58 tackles made. We'll see that probably in the stats later. But, honourable mention to him.
Honourable mention, and you've segued us straight into the next one. But just on the Josh Adokar one, look, he's under contract next year. It's a club option. So obviously the power was with us. It's a club option just to ensure he didn't fuck up. And it looks like he hasn't fucked up so far. So far, so good for Josh Adokar. Looks like he will be at Parramatta next year. But I think the thing is, they don't get him signed after that by November 1st. Obviously, you can talk to other clubs for 2027. So this is how long-term we want to keep him. We've got some good young players coming through. Obviously, some options on the wing as well. So let's kind of watch this space. But moving on, obviously, from that, we do have our Defender of the Week, as Hayden mentioned. And our Defender of the Week was Riley Smith. 58 tackles, 92 success rate. Look, it does equal 5 missed tackles, as Hayden said, but an 80-minute performance playing in the middle. There's a couple, and I pointed this out to Hayden. And one of them was he bounced off a couple of times, then he actually gets back up and makes the tackle. So, yes, he's missing the tackle, but he's getting himself in a position to make that first contact. When someone else comes in and wraps it up, he's obviously there. And then most of the time he's looking for a big shot. I know you're a big fan of him. Jason, sitting next to me, Riley Smith, your thoughts on his defensive performance once again? This is how he continues to grow as a player.
Yeah, and he was run off his feet as well. Like when he was tracking back with about 10 to go, he was literally like, when somebody runs a marathon and they're right at the end trying to get to the finish line, and he was still making tackles. So that was great to see. He's just an absolute gun, and I can't believe he's what is he, 21? How old is he?
21.
It's unbelievable how
around that.
Yeah, how advanced his game is and how much stamina he has and how much power and how much tackles he can make. It's just amazing. He's another one that we got to sign for long term as well.
Yeah, I believe it's in the works. I think there's about 3 that should be announced pretty soon. Long-term signings there. So your thoughts on his performance as well, Jack?
Yeah, look, he's all heart, and you can tell from our first trial game for Newcastle, he did a little kick, chased it, made the tackle. Look, he bounced off a couple of tackles. The only meaningful tackle he missed was Herbie, which hurt, but that's fine. And he's starting to grow some confidence as well in attack. He's doing a bit more around there. But the fact that he's, 9 games in his NRL career, he's banging out 80 minutes, 60-odd tackles. He just doesn't want to stop. When the body says no, his heart keeps going, and I like that a lot. It's what we need.
My only concern is the burnout factor. So he missed that one tackle on Herbie, but he wasn't the only one. Look, and I will say this, Jason Riles has been fantastic compared to our previous coach, Brad Arthur. His rotation of our forwards. I think he's nailed someone like Junior Paulo's forward rotation. But when it comes to a couple of others, like I sit next to Jason and Dylan Walker, like I said, they've got to get Walker off. 5 minutes later, well, not even that, probably 3 minutes later, Dylan Walker, Walker's off, not Walker's on, get him off. But they've got to get him off. And 3 minutes later, Brad let in a pretty soft try to make it 12-all. And he shouldn't have been on the field for it. Hopgood was on the sideline ready to go, should have been there. Obviously, a couple of minutes later, Riley does the same thing. I know Dylan can't play 9, Dylan Walker I'm talking about, but we need to find something. Just give that Riley a bit of a break. At a time, it doesn't hurt us. So maybe that 10-minute period after halftime where everyone should be pretty fresh anyway. It probably won't hurt us too much then to have someone there. I don't think the start of the game is an option because it kills us attackingly. So give him that 10-minute rest there, and then he's good to go for the back end of the game. We'll go to the top performers next. And as we said, Josh Adokar was a clear standout. He absolutely nailed it. So 22 runs. Obviously, I only topped it with 24, but Adokar, 239 metres. Will Penasini, 185. Dylan Brown, 179. When Dylan's running the ball, it usually means Parramatta's in a game. It's going to be the case there. Sam Riney, 162 metres, played a bit of everywhere, really finding his feet. He's going to be that perfect bench utility now. Tries to Dury, Brown and Simonson. Tackles Riley Smith, 58, Kitty Only, 39, once again up there high, Kit Kat. And he loves the name Kit Kat, by the way, guys. We've got the confirmation. He's good for it. Hayden asked a question. Jason asked a question. Troy witnessed it. I was there. It's a legal document now. So Kit Kat is what he's legally known as. So the tackle breaks, once again, Adokar, like I said, created something from nothing. Troy, your thoughts on those top performers?
Yeah, well, I think Alan in the comments mentioned it before as well with Jordan Samrani as well. Geez, he's come to life over the last few weeks, definitely. And look, I think he'll be pushing for a starting spot soon, to be honest. Just not off the bench, but he was used in a few different spots last Thursday because Will had that HIA, so he played centre and he was playing wing and back row as well. So, probably he was the second standout for me in that game.
Longy, I'll get you involved again because now you've got to leave us at 9 o'clock as usually. Just give us a bit of a taste and then fly off on the spot. From a stats point of view, I know you're a stats man. You're obviously a fantasy man. Looking at those top performers, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Adokar, right? It really jumps off the page. If you want to, I've got some stats on Tony Mattielli.
Go on.
This week.
We'll get that up now. We're going to go later, but you're not going to be here. So he obviously is going to debut this week wearing the 17 jersey. Tony Mattielli. Can you say his name again? Because I fucking can't, that's for sure.
I thought it was Mattelli.
Mattelli sounds good.
Yeah, but you said it better, Longy. It sounded better out of your mouth.
Mattielli.
That's it. Yep.
We'll go that. We'll roll with it.
For him. Because look, obviously, Helen would be mad. I don't watch a lot of reserve grade or juniors, but you look at his numbers here, and they're interesting numbers. So he's been playing a lot of middle forward, a lot of prop, bit of interchange this year, pumping out sort of around that 100 meters a game in about 45, 50 minutes. So pretty good run rate there. Interesting thing about him is when you look at the stats, about 40% of his meters are post-contact meters. So he's not getting a lot of favors. He's sort of battling through tackles. I feel like that's exactly what we need in our team. So if he can come on, make an impact, there's definitely a chance that he's 22 years old. He can carve out a spot there on the bench and potentially be a guy that really adds some energy off the bench.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, like I said, I don't know a lot about him. I know he's obviously Parramatta Junior, Rouse Hill, Rhino. Spent some time in there. Harold Matts at Manly. I did a bit of Googling today. Signed for Newcastle when he's 17. So Adam O'Brien actually signed him at Newcastle. Well, it would have been Adam O'Brien back then. Yeah, he's been there for a while now. Signed him at Newcastle back in 2020 for a 2021 contract and played 2 New South Wales Cup games and come back to Parramatta the year after. It was a massive 3-year deal, had huge regards to him. I read a comment that said, we're signing him now. He's either a great prospect or Adam O'Brien's gone nuts. So it could have been the latter one, as we've seen, because we know he's gone a bit nuts lately. But he obviously had some wonderful up-and-coming player there, and now all of a sudden he's debuting for us. So fantastic. He was close in round 1. It was between him and Sam Tuivasa, and Ryan Madison dropped down in round 1 and obviously gets his chance to debut now. So that's what we need. As Aidman said there, he is a big boy as well, 191 centimetres, 109 kilos. I think we lost a lot of that. I know he looks fit, but that fitness side of things come in, and blokes like, Charlie Guyman dropping heaps of weight. Obviously, Wimmer, Greg, Junior Paul has dropped heaps. We need someone in a big body impact player off the bench, and we just don't have that at the moment. That should be interesting. We got away there, but we've touched on that, so that's good. We'll talk about that a bit when we get to the team list. But the leaderboard for the player of the year, haven't put this up for a while, but Zach Lomax has finally been knocked off. He's been out for 6 weeks, 6 games, and he's finally been knocked off, and Adokar hits the leaderboard there for the ZMS trophies. Talking Parra, fan player of the year. So Josh Adokar on 8, Lomax on 7, Williams 5, so Money 5, Smith 5, and it's all a pretty big build-up after there. No one's been a consistent point scorer. So funny enough, Mitchell Moses is nowhere near the top. I know he's only played the 3 games back now, but nowhere near the top at the moment. So I couldn't have predicted that. Moving on, obviously, get away from that game and talk about the Bailey Simonson injury. Bailey Simonson, as we first reported, got a bit of an inside scoop and put that one up there. 6 to 10 weeks. I think it's now been coming about 8 to 10. So it'll be a bit longer than the 6, but we are seeing players return from these fractured feet after 6 weeks, around 17, 20. Look, obviously he's been killing it since he come back and coming back from that ACL surgery as well. It's disappointing to see for Bailey. Your thoughts, Hayden? I know you're a massive fan on just Bailey's performance so far and I guess what this loss means to us.
Yeah, really disappointing to see Bailey out for an extended period of time. Obviously, as you mentioned, these fractured feet injuries are so common this year. And players are coming back early, but you also hope they don't rush it. And as you said, there's some young kids who are going to do a job, fill that spot in the coming weeks. But just for Bailey and his confidence coming back to playing so well after an ACL injury like that, just what it's going to do to him. We've seen it with other players. So really wishing Bailey the best, hoping for him to come back from an early recovery and bring back his best football. But as you said, could be 8 to 10 weeks rather than that 6 weeks there. And you wouldn't want to risk it. If we are sitting in 17th position, you wouldn't want to risk this young kid who's already been through a lot of these injuries, and he's been playing very good football. So we're going to miss him on the wing.
Now, I hate to say this, but it's actually your fault he's injured, because you actually said to us a couple of weeks ago in the group chat that Bailey will play his 100th game against Newcastle, and now he's gone out and come in. Did you remember that now? Yeah, so...
Who was the other player I said? There was another player I said in the Manly game.
Oh, I don't know. Can we not say it again, though? Be a pretty... But, look, someone obviously touched on it. Why are these fractured feet becoming such a thing? I've got a theory. Like, you can say it's bad luck, but I think since the hip drop come in, we've obviously seen the Les Frank or whatever they're called. I don't even know how to fucking say it. Someone say it. Is that what it is?
The Liz Frank.
Yeah, Liz Frank. That's it. Liz Frank sounds like a name, but they've obviously become quite a common thing as well. But since we've got rid of the hip drop and people are a lot more front on contact, obviously the players are obviously trying to avoid going around the back and sliding down the back and leaning on that ankle and down the calf kind of injury there. Seen a lot more feet injuries. That could be a reason for it. And I think the more they change things, the more weird injuries we see. We obviously had the ACL injuries that were results of the hip drop that come in a couple of years ago. And every time there's a rule change, there seems to be a different injury, and a very common injury. We're just seen to be the unlucky team that's putting up with it. Anyway, I'll go to you, Longy, because I know you've got to duck off in about 10 minutes. So Bailey Simonson losing him. We never get to see Parramatta's backline in its full stride. Your thoughts on the Bailey injury?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because we haven't really seen him in the clear too much recently either. Obviously, coming back from major injury, I was keen to see him run 100 meters and take a try in for us because he's borderline Olympic level sprinter. So him and Addo would have been fun to watch. But look, he'll come back at some point, and Sean Russell's been doing a half decent job at center as well. It's nice that we get to see Lomax back on the wing. I don't know if that's permanent or if it's just an origin tryout or something different, but I think him on the wing is a great move, and hopefully he learns to enjoy it.
It's permanent. I got told that after the St. George game. So obviously in the St. George game, you end up playing on the wing, and I was told after that to be permanently on the wing from now on. I didn't think we'd see it till around origin time when he come back, but it's great. It's where he belongs. And it kind of opens that door. We've got a couple of good young centers coming through as well. Sean Russell, as you said, doing a job there. Is he the future there? No, I don't think so. And if a good center became available or we had a good young center coming through, I think they'd force their way into that team. Jack, your thoughts on the Bailey injury?
Yeah, it's a real shame. I think he's probably been our strongest back to start the year since he's come back. He's averaging around that 200 meters. And it was good he came back and we didn't really lose as much as we thought we'd lose with the Lomax injury, just because of the work rate that Simo has been doing. It would have been good to see them both playing together. As you guys said, it's a shame that's going to take us 3/4 of the year, if not the whole year, to see our full back line. But he's got that tenacity. I think he'll bounce back from it, and it'll be good to see him finish the year strong if he does come back.
Now, we've lost Adam, so I wanted to throw something else out there. Simonson at center. I actually like the idea of Simo coming back at center. So he played a few games there. I think it was either last year or the year before. And I felt like he was great. Like he was just sort of playing that really direct sort of line running role. He's a strong guy. He was taking a lot of balls to the house there as well. And when they went out the back, he was holding defenders in. What do you guys think? And I'll throw it to you, Jace, first. What do you think of Simonson at center?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think that's the only place he could have gone if he was fit anyway. It would have been a toss-up between him and Russell, who was going to stay. And Russell's been doing a job, as we said, and he hasn't been that bad. He's just not amazing. And that's a Russell. It's fine. He's doing his job. He reminds me of his name has escaped my mind now. He used to be the center and just did his job.
Oh, you're talking about
Opacek?
Opacek.
Thank you, Opacek.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a bit of an Opacek, except he's kicking goals now for some reason.
Is he there?
Sometimes.
He actually goes all right. I think it's a confidence thing. Anyway, Simo at center would have been the only other thing to happen. And I would say maybe to be first of all, I hope he's all right. He's a gun and he runs hard, and we need that. But the only other thing I'd like to say is I think he would have been the one to miss out if he wasn't to beat Russell in the centres. I just don't know how we put him in. Russell's been very good in defence, and I know Rolls is big on that. So sacrificing somebody's run meters where Lomax would run those meters anyway, for potentially another combo in defence, I'm not sure if Rolls would have done that. So it's almost serendipitous, really, that he's gotten injured. That he's it's just the will of the gods that Lomax comes back and Simonson gets injured. It's very unfortunate, but it seems to be some silver lining there.
Serendipitous.
Yeah,
Big word. Well, Simo was the centre in the 22 final, the end of the 22 season, leading into the finals, and he killed it there.
Yeah,
you're right. He did. He was always. I think when he found his feet in the centres and made him a better winger again, have got a bit of confidence back. Obviously since moving to a club, but we always joked about Bailey the centre and Bailey the winger. Then Bailey the winger become just as good as Bailey the centre. But obviously it's disappointing to see him out. I'm going to throw to this now because I know Longy wants to talk about it because he's pretty excited with Origin coming up, and this is kind of our last taste of it. But Eels in Origin. Look, there's obviously 3 a chance. Hopgood was there last year. I don't think he'll be this year. I don't think he's playing well enough. And you think Mitch and Zach would be there, especially basing off 100% footy last night when I spoke to Laurie Daly. You think there's a big chance Mitch will be wearing the 6 jersey with Nathan Cleary. Lomax gets a chance to come in. There's some fucking good wingers at the moment. Like Kiraz is killing it as well. Obviously, Turbo's floating back around and could find himself on the wing. You don't know how that's going to go. But you think based on last year's form, Lomax would be there. Longy, I'll throw to you. Talk about your Eels in Origin. Who do you think will be?
Yeah, look, definitely Lomax. Lomax has earned that spot, so super excited to see him play there. He'll have to come back and play well this week, right? So he's got one game to sort of try out, and he'll get that spot. In the halves, I would say Nathan Cleary, Mitch Moses is one of the most lethal halves pairings we will ever see in Origin footy. And people have pointed to Ben Hunt, Adam Reynolds as they're 2 sevens playing together. It hasn't been that good at Brisbane as a counter to Cleary and Moses, but I don't think that really plays because you look at Moses and Cleary's a guy who pumps out 100 meters plus a game on the ground. Moses is a guy who has a great running game as well. So between them, they'll split sides. I think Cleary probably gets the right. Moses jumps to the left, but he talked about being fine with that. So between the two of them, you've got a lot of attacking creativity. You've got a great running game. And the big thing is in Origin, we've got these powerful back 3 for the Blues. We've got a really strong forward pack. We're going to get to a good field position point. And then we're going to have the kicking game of Moses and Cleary, which is just going to be suffocating. Like, I would be surprised if Queensland can rack up many points in this game. I really just think the Blues are going to win on field position if they take these 2. I don't think Luai has played well enough this year to be in the conversation. And I really don't think he takes enough pressure off in the kicking game to be considered compared to these 2. So pretty easy choice for me, and I'm hoping we get to see it.
So I know what you mentioned too, because coming through the juniors and leaving Parramatta going to the Tigers and when he debuted as well, obviously Mitchell Moses played 6. Luke Brooks was obviously playing 7 when Moses first come into first grade at the Tigers. So playing 6 is no stranger to him. I know he's obviously a dominant half at Parramatta, but I think he said it himself pretty well last night. Like he's never played with a 7 like Nathan Cleary. He's never played with a half like Nathan Cleary that's been able to take control of that game and just let him play his natural game, because his natural game is he is a runner. And we haven't seen a lot of that this year because I don't feel like he's back to his best yet. I know he's obviously playing. They say he's 100% fit and he says that as well, but I don't feel he is. And I think he's got a bit of Origin on the back of his mind when it comes to running. He doesn't want to risk getting injured because we know he wants to play State of Origin. We look what it did for his career last year. Took him to a whole nother level, but it'll be interesting how that goes. I'll go to the filthy cane toad. Hayden, the Cleary-Moses combination scare the absolute shit out of you?
Yeah, it does a little bit. I think Longy summed it up really well. I feel like Mitch won't be doing much of the kicking. He'll probably be in that jersey 6 as his natural game is running. There will be a little bit of kicks here and there, but it'll be Cleary controlling that kicking game, especially with Cleary missing out on Origin in 2024 there as well, and Mitch sort of leading the way. He'll take that step back and still covering that injury. There'll be less kicking for Mitch. It'll be interesting on the Zach Lomax one. Obviously, his first game back from 5-6 weeks here, and we'll see if he's still fully fit, ready to go on Friday night as a sort of a test for Origin. I think Mitch will be there. I'm going to say Zach misses. I don't know what it is, but I think Zach misses. I just have this feeling. And as for the other Eel, I love Jermaine Hopgood, but his form is not up to standard. So for the mighty Maroons, I'll be taking someone like Kurt Mann over Jermaine Hopgood.
Oh, this bloke's into you. It's fantastic. Just pick on Hayden.
But
Knight tonight.
all you Queenslanders stick together. Surely you'll pick Jermaine.
Yeah, they're still Queenslanders, you know, Hayden. I'll go to you, Jack. Your thoughts on that combination, Origin? Who plays Origin from Parramatta? Do you want him playing Origin? There's the question.
Oh, yes and no. As a New South Wales fan, as a Parramatta fan, maybe not. But every Queenslander up here I've been speaking to are shitting massive amount of bricks at the prospect of Moses and Cleary. They have zero hope, and if they should, they'll lose anyway. In terms of Lomax, I'll go back and forth. I think it'll either be Lomax or Turbo, depending on how they both run out this week. But I wonder if Daly's thinking about giving Lomax the miss, potentially, just because he won't have that Moses combo, because Cleary will be on the right. But I'll guess we'll see how they go up. But I think they'd be stupid not to go Cleary and Moses. Running, defense, kicking, they've elite at it all.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go to you, Troy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Moses and Cleary will be there. Won't be a problem. They'll carve it up. And look, I don't care whether they play Origin or not. That's what players want to do. And you see what happens to players when they go and play Origin and then they come back to club football. It just makes them better players. So New South Wales will go with that combination, 6 and 7.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to let Longy go. Longy, we'll let you go now. You've got a couple of minutes, but we're going to bring Jez in because we're going to talk football soon at this week's game. So love you, Longy. See ya.
Right,
Love
good
you.
stuff, gents. Going to win this week.
Love you long time.
See you,
We'll
boys.
go to you too, Jace. We'll give you say.
Bye, Longy.
Yes, I'm going to take control here. I'm going to bring you in here. We'll get your thoughts first, Troy. Your thoughts on this combination. Oh, sorry, Jason. Your thoughts on this combination, how it could possibly work, and we'll be there for Origin.
Yeah, look. To be honest with you, I think this game on Friday is their audition for both Moses and Lomax. I'm not sure if Moses is in Laurie Daly's contemplation. Maybe he thinks Moses is only a 7 and nothing but a 7. And Lomax is coming back from injury, so I really think that this Friday is going to be the audition. And if they both play well, they're both in. That's my thoughts. Because Laurie said he's picking on form. He wants the most informed players, everyone playing at their best. So that's the way I see it. I hope it doesn't work out. I don't want them to play Origin. I just don't want. I don't want Moses to get injured. I don't want either of them to get injured.
You get injured at any rugby league game. Seriously.
Doesn't matter.
I'm with him on this as well. I agree.
No,
Jez, your
it
thoughts?
shits me.
Shut up, Troy. Jez, your thoughts? Sorry, that was workplace bullying. Sorry, Troy. I have to apologise for that.
Well, I'm getting bullied in the comments as well, just for who I support and what I wear. Are we talking about the selection of Moses? Because I'm
selection
all
of
for that.
Moses.
As a New South Wales fan, he dominated Origin last year. I spoke about this on another podcast of how much of a fan I am of Mitchell Moses when he's not playing for Parramatta, especially not against Newcastle, because he's one of the most exciting halfbacks that you can watch. The way that he controls a game is outstanding, and the way that he can adapt to any team that he comes into is really cool to see. Now, listening to him talk on what was it last night at the show?
100% footy.
100% footy. And he was talking about how it doesn't matter what side he plays on. And it was a little bit of a stab at who he's currently playing with or who he has played with around. He's looking forward to just taking a step back and, not playing the lead role and taking over when he has to. So, yeah, as a New South Wales Blues supporter, I'm a big fan of Moses.
All right, well, we've got you on now, Jez, and it looks like you're staying around because we're going to talk about the Parramatta and Newcastle game soon. But I've got a couple of things I want to address with you first. So, you've been a Knights fan your whole life?
Yep. Well, 33 years of my life, been a member since I was about 3.
Okay, so I've got a couple of things to address to you. The first one is in the court of law, Exhibit A.
Yep.
Then we've got, so fool me once, that's fine. Then we've got Exhibit number 2.
Oh, God, look at that head.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, yeah,
Which
my
one?
head-
Yours or Adams?
Unfortunately, this wasn't through, but third time lucky, there he is again, number 3.
Oh,
So-
see, that's my favourite Eels jersey, actually.
So, Jez, this is a safe place. You've done it once, it's okay. Twice, 3 times. Do you want to come out the closet? Like, are you a closet Parramatta fan? Or, oh, sorry, not that closet. Are you a closet Parramatta fan? Or what?
Look, as I said, I have a soft spot for Mitchell Moses.
Hang on, those
Considering he
photos
wasn't
taken
playing
well
for
before
Parramatta
the
when I was
promotion.
in those jerseys, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. it's always fun to have a finals team, especially being a Knights supporter. But currently, Parramatta's down in that group as well, so I have to jump to another finals team. So I might need to get another jersey off you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I got a Warriors jersey still in my cupboard somehow.
I'll borrow that. I might need it.
Yeah. We might need to jump on the wires again. I've jumped on the wires before, funny enough, when they're playing Newcastle. Look, before we get to the game, we've got a couple more things to get to. I've just got to work out because I closed it after looking at that. I've got photos of Jez stashed on my phone. Photos of Jez stashed on my phone everywhere.
That's a concern.
There you go. There's a bet. There's a bet.
What?
Jez, you guys, jerseys.
Yep. I'll never wear a Newcastle jersey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just wait. Now that I have access to the back end of this podcast, I've got some photos that I can upload here to Adam. So you just watch your mouth.
Yeah, that was the worst setup of my life, that one. Anyway, so let's move on. The Eels Legends lunch, as I put up there, or Jeremy put up there, and it's gone. It's back on normal. There we go. Eels long lunch. Have a look at that. It's Eels Foundation, obviously putting on the lunch. It's a huge day. Peter Sterling, Nathan Kalis, Nathan Highmarsh, obviously Jason Rolls, Nathan Brown will be there as well. It's actually going to be a huge day. It's about $295 ticket going back to the Foundation Friday, the 13th of June, 12 o'clock. Myself and Jason will be there. I think we've still got 2 spots on our table at the moment, Jason. So if anyone's keen to join us, $280, good price, $15 off. Flick us a message and we'll slide you in. We'll put you on that table and we'll have a wonderful day of 4 hours of food and alcohol. They might even have relish. Jason might be happy. Moving on from that, talking about the Eels Foundation, we put this up earlier. I've got a bit of a video to play we'll show that first. No, we'll show that first. That's good. That's perfect. We've actually jumped on board with the Eels Foundation and our sponsor Time for a Chat. We're doing a Kicks Bowling Parramatta Leagues Club bowling day, essentially. And what it's raising money for is 50% of the money will go to the Eels Foundation. 50% will go to the charity. We actually haven't picked yet. We're trying to work out a charity. I've contacted a couple. Will be a mental health related charity supporting Time for Chat. Obviously, Jason's logo's on there too. Ex-Advisory. Jason's going to be putting on some drinks on the bar to help everyone out. Have a great day. So come along to that. You'll get your chance to bowl if you get there nice and early. And you've plenty of opportunities to find your way into that team as well. But we've got a video just to highlight that because it just shows how wonderful the bowling team is. And I'm actually looking to sell Troy off. So if anyone wants to take Troy on the team, just let me know. Because here at Parramatta Leagues Club, home of the Parramatta Eels, we're actually up here at Kicks Bowling, talking Parra, the Parramatta Eels Foundation, Parramatta Leagues Club, putting on an event Monday the 9th of June here at Kicks Bowling, and you could have your chance to bowl. You can either bowl like one of us, bowl like the way you want to bowl. Either way, it's your chance to bowl. More information coming soon. Thank you. So you can come here and bowl like Troy.
It's a bad start. Or you can bowl like Adam.
Now, I must say,
Whoa. Pipe down, rubber dub. The more info is already come. I posted that before, but Troy, what is doing?
well, like any good employee, I make the boss look good, see? So you didn't show the other strike that I got later on there, but no, you're right. I am putting myself up for offer because I am part of a few teams that might be playing. So the highest bidder, bring it on.
Anyone want him? If you want him, just let us know. It won't be highest bidder. We'll give him to you for free. And
By the way, that game that we all played together, who won that? Can't remember.
It doesn't count. I had like 11 drinks before I played that game. That doesn't count. Drink wise, drink responsibly. Jason somehow won. Take any time, any place. But anyway, moving on from that, let's move on to this game. This week. It is the game formerly known as the Martin Cup. Now it is the Dylan Brown Cup. Friday, the 16th of May, 6 p.m. McDonald Jones Stadium. Like I said, it's a nice close home game for me. I'll run you through the team list now, and then we'll talk about a couple of other things. Look, obviously the one big change, Bailey Simonson out, Zach Lomax in, Matt Dory currently starting in the second row. The bench of Dylan Walker, Luke Moretti, Jordan Samrani, Tony Matelli, Josh Publi, Ryan Madison, Dean Hawkins, Jake Tago, Brendan Hands. So will there be some changes? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll talk about that pretty soon. Look, it is obviously disappointing. I know there's some arguments whether Sean Russell would have dropped out if Bailey stayed, but your thoughts on that team, Tree?
Well, it's probably the strongest team we could fit without Bailey Simonson, isn't it? There was rumours going around that Ryan Madison was going to play, maybe still might. Who knows? But it's a fair-looking good side. So congratulations to Tony Mattelli for making his debut on Friday night. Should be good.
I agree. Tony Mattelli making his debut. Jack, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's probably the best squad we can put at the moment. Don't know, is Guymer hurt or did he just get dropped?
Dropped.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
against
telling
that.
you,
He hasn't
I've
been
got
playing
him
that
as-
great.
Love a look at it.
Yeah, sweet. Like the fact that we're putting that Tony Mattelli on the bench is good. We lost a bit without Tuivati last week. I thought we lost a lot of size coming off the bench. So like, look, Knights forward pack isn't the greatest. They've got a couple people out as well. So like, it should be an opportunity for us to kind of get a bit of a kick on there, bit of size moving on forward again. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's actually, now you mention it, he has been dropped. I was just looking at our New South Wales Cup team list again. Let's
Well,
look
he
at our
hasn't
New
been playing that great in first
he's
grade.
struggling to adapt to his new body. But how's this for a New South Wales Cup team list? All right. Ronald Volkman, Dean Hawkins, Wirram Gregg, Brendan Hands, Ryan Madison currently there, Charlie Geimer, Bryce Cartwright, Dan Kerr. The 14 is Joey Lussick. That's a pretty unbelievable New South Wales Cup team. 3:30 kickoff on a Friday arvo. I don't know why they've
There's
done
more
that.
depth in there's more experience in our cup team than there is our first grade team.
100%. And I guess he needs to ask the question of what's up with some of those players, why they're there. But it's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Jason, your thoughts on the team? And sweet.
Oh, look, I can't wait for Mo Max. Can't wait for that. That's obviously the big headliner. I'm going to start off with a bit of my concerns. I'm concerned with a few matchups. I think Bradman Best and Sean Russell are on the same side as each other. I'm a bit worried about that. And a bit worried about, I think Dylan Lucas and Matt Dory are on the same side as well. So a few little concerns. But then again, James Schiller is up against Lomax. He should absolutely dominate. And Addo Carr's up against Hunt, again, dominate. They've got a bit of a bit speed here or there. But Moses with Lomax, Dylan Brown, we have to win. They have to make Origin. I'm not too worried about their forwards. It's only if Ponga decides to stop rolling his eyes at his coach, and he might turn up. But other than that, it's famous last words. I'm not too worried about this game. We should win, but there are a few little bits and pieces like what happened last year when Gutho forgot how to pass and didn't know what to do, and Mitchell Moses scored 2 amazing tries and was killing it, and we still didn't win. But anyway, I expect a decent game, but some of those matchups I'm a bit worried about.
Did you say Mo Max? Sorry.
Mo Max.
Dance on play 5. Moses will kick. It's a one-on-one scenario.
You ready?
As if he was in the...
Hey, grab that right there. Are you ready? Oh. Is you ready? Ready. You say you ready. Oh. Whole squad ready.
Can't actually remember if I played that because I've watched that about 20 times saying, every time it gets me.
You're just getting the views up, aren't you?
I just got shivers. Ooh.
Hayden, your thoughts on the team list?
Yeah, it's a pretty solid team list. It's good to finally know that Jason doesn't watch football because all of those matchups won't be happening. As someone highlighted in the comments, it'll be Bradman Best versus Will Penasini and Josh Addo-Carr up against James Schiller. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a pretty good team list. I think
Jason, you got no worries.
I think that
No concerns. All good. I'm just reading team lists. What do you want me to do? I don't know which side they're on. I don't know the Newcastle side.
Hayden just had one drink and look at him go, Like, honestly, he's just got a bit of aggression in him. I love it.
The only thing I'd like to see, I liked the early minutes that Sam Rani made last week. So I'd like to see Sam Rani come into jersey number 11 and Matt Dury to the bench. I think Matt Dury plays his best football off the bench. I thought he had a good game a few weeks ago off the bench as well. I forget who it was against. It wasn't against the Tigers. I forget who it was against. But, yeah, pretty solid team list overall.
Yeah, cool.
Against?
I don't know. You're fucked tonight, eh? Like, honestly.
No, he scored a try. He had a really good game off the bench.
Who was that?
Matt Dury.
Yeah, it was last week.
The Dolphins.
Yeah,
Thursday
the Dolphins.
like 4 days ago.
The match we spent half an hour talking about.
Matt. Right. When Hayden talks, all I hear is. So I'm no help. I don't know what he said, but you did mention Matt Dury, and it's an interesting one because Matt Dury is obviously more conditioned to be a front rower now. We've named him the second row. Now, there's obviously been this rumor floating around, the information we got sent through, which is usually a pretty reliable source. We've popped a bit of shit in the comments about already that Ryan Madison will play this week. Ryan Madison obviously has been quite out of favour with coach Jason Riles. And look, we've copped a bit of shit about it, but I still think there's a chance coming in. The fact that Matt Dury's named in the second row, he's been conditioned to play a front row, he's been doing a good job in the front rower. I think he could really struggle in the second row, even whoever the second rowers are. Clypeus Paul and Dylan Lucas, don't they? Either, he could struggle laterally being conditioned for a front rower now there. So I think Maddo will come in and start. I like it, Hayden. It could be a shout that Sam Riney could come in and shout, and Maddo could come into the bench, maybe. I don't think Dury deserves to be fully dropped, though. I think he's playing quite well. I guess one of those things, with that New South Wales Cup team we've got and players playing well, it does put a bit of pressure. We can't really complain about it. So let's see what happens. Look, Paul, I reckon that's the only one we've got wrong in the last year. We can't win. Like, if we get all our predictions right, we cop, you've got inside information from the club, use a tongue in the club's ass, all this shit, blah, 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 blah.
And it's only Tuesday anyway.
Yeah. Time. There's a lot to change. Look, our source is still pretty confident that he'll come in. And Troy knows him as well, and he's very confident. He's been paired to double
Absolutely.
down. So I don't want
Who
to get
gets dropped if Rory goes to the bench?
Well, that's what I can't work out. Like, that's what I'm
'Cause
really
I
struggling
think-
with. Yeah.
I think the size of Metelli could really help between like the 25 to 50 minute range that we seem to struggle in sometimes.
I don't think Metelli will get dropped because all the boys have been putting up stuff saying congratulations on your debut. So if he is going to get dropped, obviously it's, I can't see him doing that to a young player.
Yeah.
I myself,
But you
let's
would
talk
drop.
this. Who would you be dropping to bring Ryan Madison in? Now, me, I'm dropping Hopgood. I don't think Hopgood's been good enough in the last 3-4 weeks. So I'm dropping Hopgood straight up. I don't think he's doing his job, and I'm playing Maddo at lock. Obviously, he only has to play that first 20 minutes at lock. Then Dylan Walker comes in and Maddo can go to an edge. Pretty simple one for me. Jason, who would you be dropping if you're bringing Maddo in? And I know a lot of us don't want to bring Maddo in. So if he does come in, who are you dropping?
Look, I don't mind that Hopgood and putting Maddo at 13. Maybe you've said as well that if the boys are saying congrats to the young guy, Matade, whatever his name is, we'll find out how to pronounce it. We'll find out how to pronounce it. We'll be respectful.
Can you pronounce Kit Kat's name? Because you asked him how to pronounce his name, and he actually told you. Can you remember?
Carl Tonga. And look, I just
First name?
I'm not sure. Kia Tony. And
Yeah.
look, I was generally very genuinely asking him, can we call you Kit Kat? If you don't like it, we'll stop it. I really wanted to make sure he was all right with it. And he's like, yeah, whatever. So I'm not sure if he's like, I'm just not sure, like, let us know, bro. Like, if you don't like it, we won't do it. Like, I just thought it was cool because it's, Kit Kat. Like, anyway, like if the young guy's debuting, I can maybe see Sam Riney going into, and then Dewey dropping out or something like that. But look, I don't know. I don't know what role to do and what Maddo could do more than Hopgood. Because Hopgood's literally just maybe 1 week away for rest. Maybe he needs that back rest. I don't know. But yeah, I honestly I'm going to just say I don't know. Leave it up to Riles.
Yeah. All right. Hayden, what are you doing?
I'm not bringing Maddo in.
That wasn't the option. I told you.
That wasn't the point.
question.
It was an option, mate.
As much as I don't agree, I sort of agree with what you're saying, Adam. I don't think he deserves to be dropped, but I would probably say Matt Dury comes out. I know he's playing better football than Hopgood, but from a coaching point of view and what Hopgood's achieved in his career, they're probably going to keep Hopgood out there. Matt Dury will probably drop out if Maddo was to come in, but I don't think we need him.
Yeah, I agree with you. But yep, Jack.
I'm putting Maddo at lock. I'm promoting Sam Ryan to the back row, and I'm dropping Hopgood to the bench. Give him the first 25 minutes, wait for the game to kind of open up and not be as bit rough on him. Give him time to come on a bit later when everything's a bit more open, and everyone's a bit more tired, and you might have a bit more success there. That would probably be my bet.
Yep. for sure. Troy?
Yeah, exactly what Hayden said. I think Dury would get dropped if Matto was to come in, unfortunately. But the same as what you said as well, he doesn't deserve to be dropped, but that's probably what will happen.
Jez, as an opposition fan, you obviously know what Ryan Madison can do on his day. If he does come into the team, are you worried about him? Like, I think he's playing for a contract. He's kind of playing for a career in a way.
I'm worried about anyone who the Knights play at the moment, so it doesn't matter who we really line up against. But I think he's playing for a contract. He wants to stay here. I think he wants something to prove, and if he gets his chance, he'll absolutely rip in.
Yeah, agree. It's like it's one of those things where I didn't know if it was like they're trying to put the shiny car in the or the old car in the front window to make it look shinier, just to try and fucking hell. Anyway, they're trying to put him on show. I asked him to come on the show tonight, by the way, because obviously we were 1 down, and he goes, "I can't come on the show. This is not Ryan Madison. There's no chance that happened. He's fucking blocked us on all socials possible." But asked that Michael Martin bloke to come on tonight, and he goes, "Oh, I can't. I'm going to spend some time with my wife and watch a movie with her." That's been a fucking good movie, or is movie code for something else and you're already done? I don't know what's going on, but. Like, the fact you're here is confusing me with your comments.
He's watching it with subtitles.
Oh, fuck. Imagine your subtitles then. Wow. Wouldn't know what's going on. All right. Let's we've obviously spoken about Madison. We've spoken about Tony Martelli obviously debuting already. Get your final questions in, guys. Jez will try and star them. We'll do our bold predictions and we'll draw the winner of the voucher. I'll give you one more chance as well. So give it a share. Give the podcast a share. And once you've done that, comment, shared, and we'll draw out that winner. It'll be a $50 voucher. You have to be here to claim. You've got 30 seconds to claim. So yeah, I'm sure you will. All right, let's go to bold predictions. We're going to let Jez go first. And please, guys, don't boo him, okay? Do not boo him. So, Jeremy, as you have to write them down, so you've got your pen and paper ready. You can write your own down as you're talking. Ready. Score, first try, bold prediction.
Well, I'm just reading all the homophobic comments from your established Parramatta fans, and it just shines really brightly on you and your club. But anyway, we won't go there. Score, I'm unfortunately going to go a Knights loss because I'm a real person. I'm not. I don't have my red and blue glasses on. I think it's going to be. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a blowout, and it's going to be a blowout at home for the Knights. Just their attitude and whatever happened last week, them dropping a 20-point lead, and then all the stuff that's happened after, with all the rumours of Ponga going to the Roosters pretty quickly and making that happen. And then, so I'm going to go 32-6 to Parra. Thank you. First try scorer, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Bradman Best. And that's going to be the only points we score. And bold prediction, Mitch Moses is going to convert every single one of the tries scored. He's going to be 100% for the night.
Bit hard when he's not the goal kicker.
Sorry, I meant to say Zach Lomax, 100% goal kicking. It's just how much I love Mitchell Moses. Get off me in my pink hat.
I didn't say anything about your hat.
No, just everyone else has flogs. Lomax, 100%.
He's not the either.
It's all right, guys. We're getting him a Talking Parra hat. The Talking Parra hats are coming this week. He'll have his Talking Parra hat on from now on, all right? So, and he actually wants one as well, so that's good. So
I do. That's cool.
We've got him a special edition pink Talking Parra hat that'll be podcast for now. Nice. I wish I could. That would have looked fucking sick, actually. I should have done that.
Your people in the comments won't like that, though. Mm-hmm.
Isn't it
Troy?
salmon?
Troy, who's your goal kicker? It is Salmon.
It's Sean Russell.
Nah, fuck that. Lomax is kicking, and he's kicking 100%. You heard it here first.
He's got a foot injury.
Lomax is kicking. He's kicking.
Hard enough.
He'll be all right.
Fuck me, Troy, you're soft. All right. Jack, your poll prediction?
Score. I've got a feeling it's going to be reasonably similar to the Tigers game. So I'm going to go 36-20. I just don't think our.
I thought you were going to say the Tigers Storm game then. I'm glad you didn't.
I thought about it. I really did. I just don't think our defense is quite there yet. And I think that left side will have some success. First try scorer, it's going to be Lomax. Crossfield kick. I'm happy for it to happen off the kickoff, but Lomax is going to score in the corner. Ball prediction, Brown shows up for his new club. Couple of tries, try assist, man of the match performance.
I knew that was coming. I'm going to go next because
You
I want to
shouldn't
get
be
mine
surprised anymore.
out of the way. All right. So my scoreline is I'm going big. Look, I feel it. I feel like we're about to click, and there's that one game where we're going to click, and I thought it was going to be last week. I feel like, and I hope it's this week, and I'm just, I'm religious this week. All of a sudden, I'm praying to God above that it happens. So I'm going to go Parramatta 52-6. Yep. And yep, I'm loving it. And my first try scorer will be. I'm gonna go Sean Russell. I'm gonna give Sean a chance to score the first try. Sean Russell, first try scorer. Now, my bold prediction off the back of booing off their team last week at full time is for the Knights fans to boo off their team at half time. Can we take that? Is that bold enough? Yeah, good.
I like it. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So I actually got Parramatta to be ahead by 20 plus at half time into the Knights fans booing them off. But yeah, let's do it. All right, Jason, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to double up Lomax first try scorer. I've got a feeling it's going to be big, but not as big as you think, Adam. 42-16, Parra. And the Momax is going to combine for 2 tries. Bold prediction.
Lomax. What do you mean? Is like Zach going to put a crossfield kick to Mitch? Or
I think
The Lomax.
Lomax just scores twice.
It's just one entity. One entity. They will
Is that your
combine.
first try
They
scorer as
will
well?
combine for 2 tries.
Lomax, Lomax your first try scorer or Moses?
Lomax.
Both of them together.
This is going to put the ball
Simultaneous.
and
We're
Lomax
going to hold the
double.
ball while they're in the field together.
Fuck. All right, Hayden, what do you got?
I think we'll win this one. I do think it'll be close. I don't know if we can win 13 plus. I think the Knights' performance was crap last week, so they'll be a bit better. I'll go Parramatta 22 to the Knights 16s. Eels win by 6. First try scorer, I think Isaiah Oyongi will run circles around some of these players. So Isaiah Oyongi first try scorer. And bold prediction, I've backed try scorers this year, so let's go a bit bolder and add some. So get ready to write this down, Jez. And it's similar to you, Jack. I'm going Dylan Brown for a try assist, 3 tackle breaks, and an error. So those are his.
The errors are fucking given.
Couldn't just go all
only one
positive.
error? Only one error?
Let's give him 1 error. Let's also add in there. Let's make it 4 tackle breaks.
He throws a cutout to Bradman Best, thinking
He has
he's
a try
2026.
assist, 4 tackle breaks, and 1 error at least in this game.
Any more stats, Hayden? You want to chuck in?
I'm going to leave the kicking for
12 tackles, 1 missed tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. He's getting his hair
64
cut
kick
before the
meters.
game. 3 on the side, 2 on the back, long on top. All right, Troy, what do you got?
24-20, Parramatta to win. Hayden stole my first try scorer, so I'll pick another one.
Panasini.
Yeah. So I'll go Will. And bold prediction, it'll be 20-all with 2 minutes to go, and Dylan Brown will score the winning try.
For who? For us. Okay. Yep. Got you.
Yeah. Much to the dismay of the
He's
Newcastle
going to ground the
crowd.
ball in the Newcastle trial.
He'll get
line.
up kissing the badge, Mitchell Pearce style.
I'm not fucking leaving. Oh, wait, I am. Hang on. I've already made that decision. Oh, we're going to draw this competition, guy that didn't get your final question in. Please, no more homophobic slurs. I'm not a fan of that. So please stop that. I'm not gay, but my boyfriend is. So please stop. All right. Okay, so there's 19 people there. Some have been screwed. All right. Now, Hayden, no cheating here because I've had to go down and do it right. Hang on. No, fuck. I've done it wrong. I hate this every week. All right, the winner for the $50 voucher. No, get fucked. Is Andrew Backhouse. Andrew, you've got 30 seconds.
Oh, Andrew. Andrew.
We finally got one.
He's not here, is he?
We'll play some music. You must be watching League of Inches.
I think you might be on.
I think he's gone.
That's it.
I
30
reckon
seconds up.
He's on FaceTime with the long time. What's the word? Long
Distance relationship.
Long distance relationship. That's all.
Oh, no, you're too late, Andrew.
Oh.
Rules are rules. That was a minute. Sorry, rules are rules.
That was 46 seconds, unfortunately, Andrew.
Unfortunately, Andrew, you're done, mate.
You guys are so slack. You guys are so
jeez.
slack.
No, I'm sorry, but
It hasn't been redrawn yet, so he's the winner.
no, it doesn't get redrawn. It jackpots the next week, so that's it.
I love how everyone's saying he made it like we didn't actually time it. Like, did you guys time it? Because I actually timed it.
Yeah,
It
we
was
timed it 46
Oh, just give
No,
it to him, Adam.
Oh,
I reckon
he's a
he was
loyal
right.
listener.
He
He goes
said
here every show.
He won a jersey earlier in the year. It's
Rules are
fine.
rules.
Rules are rules, mate. Sorry. Seriously. Like, he's on report and you can go to the bin. Rules are rules. All right.
Give it 3 weeks. We'll see him.
We'll just ask Casey, Jace, can you ask Casey Badger if this can be a challenge? Because I don't think it's worthy of a challenge.
No captain's challenges here. All right, final questions. There was some questions that Jez has started. I'll go through and let's move some of these other ones. Give me a second. Andrew shared one. It's gone.
Conspiracy theories. They're happening already.
He was quick. You guys delayed. Oh, no. There's no conspiracy theory.
Are you going to mention the event
Hey,
happening
guys,
on
just
Friday
quickly.
night, Adam?
No. Yep. Go, Jason.
I was going to say, Andrew, if you need advice on an appeal prospects, just let me know, mate.
Yeah, fuck, it'll cost you more than $50 though. Trust me. It won't be worth it.
A lot more.
I love how everyone's commenting like it's unfair and all that sort of stuff. Are you guys forgetting that it jackpots to $100 next week when it doesn't?
Yeah, and then Andrew will win it next week.
Yeah. Exactly right. So someone's actually a chance of winning.
And then
it
we'll be
next
delayed.
week. Yeah. Anyway, don't feel sorry for Andrew, guys. It's Andrew. Honestly, if you've met him, you wouldn't feel sorry for him. Okay. All right. Why? Is someone say why or what? Like the bloke's dead set punching. 100% punching. He's performing a modern miracle as it is. So don't worry about that. All right, let's get to some of these questions first of all. And yes, I will mention that at the end, Troy. How much for the clowns?
Sorry.
I think he's talking about your clowns in the background. Here we go. Here's one for you. Would Big Nelson be worth a look for next season? I'm just going to ask two people. Jason?
As in from Melbourne.
Nelson Asafa Solomona.
Nas. I actually, respectfully, I hate Big Nas. I don't like him at all.
Respectfully.
I don't like him as a player. I don't like him as a human. I don't like him as anything. So no, thank you.
No. Hayden?
Yeah, you know what? I think we've lost a lot in the forwards. So controversial take. I know that he gives away a penalty. He probably loses some games. But I would welcome Big Nas to the forward pack for unders price. I don't know, maybe what, 600K, something like that. No more than that.
600K. Give him fucking coach.
That's double what I was thinking.
I wouldn't give him 600K. No.
Give him a Big Mac meal and tell him to shut the fuck up.
He's more of a zinger stacker kind of bloke, I reckon.
All right, Jez, we'll go to your thoughts on this one because you actually had the Knighter boys on after this happens. What's your thoughts on Brown signing with the Knights? Is there a trade talk? So just what's your thoughts on Brown signing with the Knights?
Initial thoughts were great. Another half just to add to the mix. Yes, he's probably a bit more of a higher caliber than the ones that are already there. But long story short, no, I wasn't too chuffed over the signing, especially with what he's been throwing up for Parramatta lately. Who knows? A fresh start might change him, but it's just another half at the Knights.
Another half, not a genuine 7 as well. We'll add that to there. Look, this question here, may I ask why the club has not come out? Bailey, there was an injury report thing went up today about his injury. So 8 to 10 weeks. They've said MRI has confirmed a stress fracture in his foot and he will be out for 8 to 10 weeks. So there you go. But don't worry, Talking Parra broke it for you. Don't worry about Parramatta. We broke it for you, all right? We broke that news. So
And
go on.
Also a shout out to the NRL physio who mentioned Talking Parra podcast.
Yeah, the shout out
injury as well.
A shout out to the bloke that gave us a shout out. Good shout out, Troy.
Shout out for the shout out. Yep, good shout out.
Great shout out. I want to give a shout
It's
out
also
to
Hayden
Troy.
shout. How's your beer going?
Yeah, have you finished that yet?
We're done,
Okay.
lads.
Remember when I had my first beer? So I want to give a shout out to Troy for giving a shout out to the NRL physio for giving a shout out to Talking Parra during his shout out. Thanks, Troy.
Good shout.
Thank you. Any potential signings for 2026? I've looked through what's available for 2026. I know I sent it to the boys the other day. Jack, is there anyone you'd be looking at signing for 2026?
Oh, look, there was a couple of forwards. I can't remember. I think Corey Jensen, something like that from the Broncos, is available. He wouldn't be a terrible signing for a bigger backup there. But look, I think next year there's not much in terms of the forwards. Our backs are pretty set. I'd kind of let our juniors develop, give some of the young boys a crack. And I know there's some big boys playing around in for the 2027 season, which I think would be time to kind of splurge a bit.
Yeah, I agree with you. Troy, anyone you want to sign for 2026?
No, not really. Have a year off signing and wait for 27. Just develop the juniors.
Look, I know the answer, and I believe they are talking to a couple of players for 2026, and they might be trying to get a couple earlier this year. Unless we've only got 28 in our squad at the moment. Or maybe it's 27. Is it 28, 27? We upgraded Riley. We got rid of Joe. So, yeah, I think we're at 28 now. Anyway, it's
We have
always hard to
less
work.
than 30.
No, we got 28 because Dylan Walker took the 28th, which we had 20. Yeah, we've got 2 spots available. Long story short, so hopefully we get someone early. Trying to sign someone for 2026 and get him in early would obviously be a thing. Jason, this question is tailor-made for you, mate. Where do you guys think Joe deserves to fit into the team?
Yeah, look, as you know, I go out of my way to speak to him after every game and give him that encouragement. But he's a good kid, good head on his shoulders. He knows that he has to wait his turn.
He's a lawyer or the AVO will be coming. That's one thing we will say.
And you nearly took his dinner the other night too.
He offered it to me. I didn't take it. He offered it to me. Anyway, for me, he's not the best defender as we saw him at 6 in the front line. So I think he needs to play wing. He needs to come in at wing and then learn how to play in NRL. And he even said to me, I said to him, What would you do if Youngie gets injured and you've got to run into first grade at fullback? He goes, it'll be a big challenge for me. So like he's a well-reasoned young bloke, very respectful, very polite, obviously a gun, and he knows that he has to wait his time. But for me personally, I think he is best coming on the wing, and there might be some opportunities in this Origin period if Lomax does go, Simonson's out injured. There could be an opportunity there for him to play on the wing. I always think that wingers and fullbacks are the way to go. A lot of coaches do that. Someone like Bellamy does that. He has his fullback start at wing. So look, I think that's the way to go for Joe Ash. He's got speed. He can score tries. He can kick goals as well. So amazing little player. And I think probably wing for me.
A couple that are floating around there. Talamay, no, not happening. And the other one was who was the other one? Someone said. Let's scroll back up there. Anyone else see anything?
I wouldn't mind Ethan Bullymore. That's my one from Manly.
Samrani has not Fafita ain't happening either. Samrani has not been upgraded. It's round 11. He doesn't need to be upgraded anymore. But look, the potential's there to upgrade him if we want to and if we choose to. We haven't filled up our top 30 spot. No, I don't agree. Nah. Josh will come in the team for sure. He's doing everything right in New South Wales Cup. I think that's it, guys. That's all we've got time for. Look, there won't be a game day show this week due to it being a 6 o'clock Friday. And we'll be at the members event. So if you are a member and you are traveling to Newcastle, then just pop on into that event. You might see some special things happening before the game at the event. So that's all I'll say. But get there, have a watch, have a listen. It should be fun for you. So that's it. That's all we've got time for. Yeah, you'll turn up. You'll be hoping for free drinks. You'll turn up for sure. So look, hoping to see a lot of the Fat Blue and Gold Army there. That's all we've got time for. So good night. See you next Tuesday.
Go Parra.